Procrastination is one of the worst things that can happen to anybody who is interested in buying or investing in real estate. Why do I say this? I see a lot of people expressing interest in buying a property, but they keep on saying when they are ready. Now, the thing is that when you are ready, the economy might not be ready. And when I say the economy, I mean things that causes the rise of a property. I'll give you an instance. Last year, the average price of a 2-bedroom apartment in Ikate, not Lekki Phase 1, was 65 million naira or thereabouts. Now I'm talking about off-plan properties, not finished properties. Now this was around March last year. Currently, the average price of a property, a 2-bedroom apartment in that same Ikate, is averaging like 75 million naira to 95 million naira, sometimes a little bit more, depending on the location and the finishing of that property. Now, this does not happen because the developers decide to do moju on their property and increase the price just the way they like. It's obvious, prices of property will go up once it's finished. That's a fact. But we forget one major thing in the appreciating value of a property, and that is economics. As the price to naira and dollar exchange rate goes up, price of property goes up. And that is because most of the raw materials used in these properties are bought from the abroad. And what that simply means is that if the price of raw materials goes up, the price of that property goes up. The price of labor goes up. And a whole lot of other things are affected by that singular increase in price. Now, some people will argue that why don't we produce these things in Nigeria, blah, 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 blah. The truth is that these things are produced in Nigeria, but the average Nigerian who wants luxury would rather get a property that was designed with Turkish building materials, chandeliers, tiles, and things like that. And they are more expensive and they are way more better, especially if you are looking for luxury apartments. Anyhow, that's by the way. Let's leave that alone. My economics teacher in the university used to say that once the dollar exchange rate sneezes, the whole Nigeria catches fever. So you can see that with the way things are in this country, price of properties will continue to appreciate because of our exchange rates. So rather, I would say to you, if you are interested in getting a property back home in Nigeria, one of the best things that you can do for yourself is buy off-plan. Now, off-plan simply means that you are buying a property when it's at the 0% stage, meaning that they just bought the land and it's empty, or 30%, 50% stage. There is a risk to that. And the risk is that most properties that are bought off-plan in Nigeria, at least 30% of them do not finish in the set time that they were promised to their buyers. And that is because of uncertainties in our economics, like I said. So what do you do? Well, this is what I would advise you to do. That is why you need a realtor. I would advise you, if you must buy a property here in Nigeria, buy from a trusted developer. Now, there are developers that over the last 5 years, they've had a track record of finishing their property within the set time that they said it will be done. And one of the top developers that are in that position is the developers of Citadel View Estate. And that is why I would always advise clients, get your property from a developer that finishes. Now, the developers of Citadel View are trusted and they have great partners abroad that ensures that their properties are finished in due time. I'll give you an example. Citadel View 1.0 finished within a groundbreaking record time of less than 2 years. Citadel View 2.0 started last year and we're about 70% done. Victoria Crest Water View Experience Orchid Road also started last year and it's about 85% finished. Some people have even moved into their own home. What am I saying in essence? If you must buy off plan to save money, which is number one, if you buy a property off plan for let's say 50, 60, 70 million naira today, in the next 1 year, that same property is going to be worth 90, 80, and up to 120 million naira because finished properties usually sell at a higher price because it's finished. So I would advise you, do the right thing. Get from a developer that finishes within record time. And that is why you need a realtor, because a good realtor will nudge you in the right direction. So call the number you see on the screen below and let's get you Citadel View Estate 1.0, 2.0, Victoria Crest Water View Experience, and Victoria Nest just beside VGC, which is selling fast.